Greetings, welcome to Bruce's Eclectic World. I have a little slideshow for you and we'll play. And I'm going to read it and give you my thoughts. I made this little slideshow so I could remember what I was going to say, because normally I don't script anything. But I wanted to do this so I can remember what the hell I was going to say. So I'm using Joe Collins' little program called Show. And I made these little slides, so all I got to do is press the space bar and it moves to the next one. So thanks, Joe Collins. It's a cute little program. I like it. Anyway, to the video. Greetings, boys and girls of YouTube land. Today I want to throw in my hat into the Ubuntu announcement ring, as it were. These are my thoughts. You can disagree if you like. Be my guest. You know where the comments are. I have watched several other YouTubers as they walk through. They talk about, so why are we walking? Can't even read my own writing, and I typed it. As they talk about what the hell is wrong with Ubuntu and its seamless, no-ending craziness that has come from them as of late, and from the CEO. They are turning more and more into the likes of Apple and Microsoft. Joe Collins made that statement. And others have made the same statement. Unfortunately, Conical now is wanting to tell us what we want, what we are going to do, and what we're going to use. Does this sound like some other company we all know? Sad to say, the Sheeple will just follow along. There you go, Switch to Linux. Got that one for you, buddy. Sheeple. This concerns me to no end. Like Tom said in his latest video, and I will show you the later videos and the links here in a minute. 50% of the Linux users left Windows for that very reason. And the other 50%, people just don't care one way or the other. And that last statement is kind of sad. But those are the people that don't care about their privacy or anything else. They're the sheeple, and they just want to follow along and don't make any waves, and everything's going to be okay. Not really. Spoiler alert. Like lots of users, I started out on Ubuntu some 5+ years ago and used it for some time, and then I found Joe Collins' awesome YouTube Linux channel that turned me towards using Linux Mint, which was and still has a Windows feel menu system that makes people more or comfy with it. Feels like home. One of these days I'll be able to read it after I turn 70. Ubuntu kind of did that in a way years ago, but it was not the same experience as Windows, and that is what I and others were not looking for in a Windows replacement. So let me elaborate on that just a bit. Ubuntu at that time, 1604, I think is when I started, was Ubuntu. It had the menu bar on the side, and it didn't even look closely like Windows. It was clunky, hard to use. You had to install your own codecs. You had to install all kinds of things in order to do things. Was not really user friendly, but it beat using Windows, I guess. So, but they have come a long way to a point. You know, they were out there and preaching Linux basically at that time. So people keep going to it. And that's the scary part to me. Nowadays, Ubuntu was the first stepping stone into Linux that a lot of us have took and stayed on Linux to try other distros like Linux Mint, Mate, MX, Debian, and the list goes on and on and on. And there are bunches of them out there. Some people figured out that you could use a virtual machine in that distro that you had installed to try other distros in the virtual machine before they installed it on their own hard drive, which is the perfect way of doing it. That's called distro hopping nowadays. But it's the perfect way to find the distro like Linux Mint or MX or Ubuntu or Ubuntu or Arch or any of those that you might want to stay on. But you have to start somewhere, and Ubuntu has always been out there in front of everybody's face. Not that they're the best distro, not that they're the worst distro, but they're the one that's always been out there in front of everybody's face. A lot of people keep pushing Ubuntu in that respect to keep it out there in front of everybody. But I'm thinking nowadays they're backing the wrong horse, folks. But that's just me. This is all what I'm thinking. This is my comments. This is the way I feel about it. This is not wrote down anywhere. This is not in a publication. It's not a news flash. This is just the way I feel. Now, with all this craziness, this is going to be my way, and you're going to do it this way, and I want it to do it this way, and you're going to like it. Talk from Ubuntu. I can truly say I cannot and will not ever recommend anyone to use Ubuntu, the Microsoft version of Linux, and yes, you heard me right. Ubuntu, the Microsoft version of Linux. Because I know who is behind this, because they have the big chair at the round table up there at Conical. So, or one of them. So, 2 and 2 still makes 4, whether you're 16 years old or 70. I'm sorry, it still makes 4. New or old mass. Well, I'm sure somebody will find a new mass way of doing it, but making it 4.399 or something. Anyway, I digress. Mark my words. You are out there saying, what does this crazy old fat man know? Well, after 45 years of watching Microsoft slowly slinking along, slithering around, killing off or buying and then killing off software, after software for years, I just don't get why people don't see it. And you're yelling at me right now, Microsoft hater, Ubuntu hater. Well, yes, and no, and yes. And in that, pretty much in that order. I hate to see a company that was once the biggest influencer in the Linux community go this route, and in the end, these latest moves will turn that new Linux user off, and then they will just go back to Windows, which is kind of what Windows wants, in my honest opinion, because they will be thinking if Linux is that much like Windows, I might just as well stay on Windows. It's what I'm used to using, and I'll just put up with their crap. Like I said, this is my honest opinion. This is what's in my head bouncing around, so if you disagree with it, fine. I don't care. You have a YouTube account, start your own video. That's what I did. I'm not very good at it, but hell, I don't care. Apparently you're watching it. Anyway. I can truly say I am sad that this is what the main representative of Linux is doing, and it will not be good for the new user of Linux, or for the Linux community, or Linux as a whole. So that's all my thoughts on this subject. Please watch the videos that I'm about to point out and read the articles. The links are below in the little comment section down there. And as always, thanks for watching Bruce's Eclectic World. Always have to throw that in there, don't we? So, up here, Tom over to Switch to Linux made a video on Ubuntu Advantage is deepening wire into the distro, and then they're going to start putting ads in Linux and Ubuntu and a terminal. Sounds like one of Microsoft's ploys. And here's the article. Like I said, the links will be in the description below, and you can read these at your leisure. I'm not going to sit here and read these to you. You know, it's pretty sad when they have to put in a link right here to tell you how to get rid of it. Sad, huh? And then we have, by the order of Artical, official Ubuntu flavors must stop including Flatpack by default. That means Ubuntu and all the other flavors of the official Ubuntu that they have on their website. You see, it's pretty lengthy. Like I said, you can read these articles. I'm not going to read them for you. You're a grown person, read them yourselves. But this is sad when I see their point, but they want to promote snaps, which I don't like using the word hate, but I do hate them. I think they're utterly useless and a waste of space. They're slow, and I don't see it. Flatpaks is a way better alternative. Well, I use SAM and app images. I will never use a snap. But there again, I don't use Ubuntu. I'm not going to use Ubuntu. Matter of fact, I got one Ubuntu product left in my house that's on my server. And as soon as I get time, it will be a Debian server, not Ubuntu. So they will no longer be allowed in my house. Anyhow, excuse me. And then even the Linux Experiment, old Nick, he made a video too. Like I said, the link's below. And it's a very, very, very well said piece in his video. And here's another article that I found. It's very, very knowledgeable article. It has all kinds of links. You need to read those too. Here's another one. Here's one of the links. And I kind of agree with this. Why Ubuntu isn't the flagship Linux desktop distribution anymore. Very good article. Once again, it's a good read. you know. Sorry, it's one day it's 30 degrees, the next day it's 70 degrees, and my sinuses are just having a hell of a time. Anyway, and here is the official article on their Chronicles website. So that Nic had on his Linux Experiment channel. You can read that at your leisure too. Those are my thoughts. Take them with a grain of salt. Throw it over your shoulder. Spit in your hand and rub them together. Stomp your feet. Whatever you want to do. But as always, thanks for watching Bruce's Eclectic World. Be kind to your neighbors. You never know when you're going to see them again. God bless. And we'll talk to you later. You might even see me in another video. That's a scary thought, ain't it? Catch you later. Bye.